every human being, that is you and me, definitely performs some economic activity. Now, if you ask me what is economic activity, as a student or as a teacher, alright, what economic activity we perform is very basic activity like traveling, having our food, eating, alright. For studying you need to spend some money. These all are economic activities. And in terms of business, all these economic activities are nothing but transactions. So all transactions that a human being perform, or rather an economic activity that human beings perform, right, needs accounting because you need to record. Now all this economic activity we should be able to express in terms of money. Say for example, I want to travel from place A to place B, and for that I take a cab. I will definitely have to pay some money to the taxi person or to the cab, right? So this particular economic activity is expressed in terms of money. Now just imagine, same expense of traveling I am incurring for my business purpose. Now in business, every rupee is very, very important. So what I need to do is, I need to record this particular economic activity which I term as transaction in the business language. Alright, now individuals and organization, rather you talk about me and you or the company in which we work, or in any organization that people work. So this particular activity is always and always expressed in terms of money, and everybody need to keep a tab on the amount of money that they spend for their particular activities or particular organization. Now what is economic activity expressed in terms of money, rather, is nothing but all the inflow and outflow of the money, and this is the main part which comes in our particular subject of financial accounting. Now what exactly is bookkeeping? Bookkeeping is nothing but detailed recording of all financial transactions in a business. So if suppose, say for example, we have spent 100 rupees from traveling to point A to B for business activity, I need to record this particular transaction, and when I record it in my for the purpose of my business organization, alright, it is known as bookkeeping. So in a very, very, very simple language, if I am supposed to explain you what is bookkeeping, then it is nothing but recording of a transaction in the books of accounts. Students, accounting is far more complex, or rather organized term used for bookkeeping. Now in bookkeeping, we only record the transaction as and when it takes place. But then now after recording the transaction, if this particular information I used to prepare for preparation of financial statements and for decision making of my business, this particular thing will be termed as accounting. So whenever whatever I have recorded in my books of accounts, if I use it for preparation of financial statements and for decision making of future, it will be termed as accounting. It means any action or activity which can be expressed in terms of money. Two things is very important: action activity, and that particular action activity should be able to express in terms of money. Now say for example, I am hungry and I go to McDonald's. I go over there, I place my order. Alright, the order is received by the counter person, and then I am supposed to pay certain money. So what is my action or activity of going to a particular restaurant or a particular joint, ordering something? What is their action and activity? To provide me whatever I have ordered, and for this particular thing I need to pay certain amount of money. So this entire process is now called as transaction. Right? So I have just given a very small example. For example, a cloth merchant, alright, buys clothes for resale. So he has purchased cloth, and then now he is supposed to sell it to the customers, or rather a car dealer is purchasing car for the purpose of reselling to the customers. So this both activity of purchase and then selling it off is termed as transaction. Goods or inventory. Now what is goods or inventory? It is any commodity, anything in which a businessman deals. For example, I am a stationery merchant and I purchase ball pen. Now why did I purchase ball pen? For the very purpose of selling it off. So for me as a stationery dealer, I am purchasing the ball pen and then I am selling it off. So this particular ball pen will be termed as goods. I will not call it ball pen, rather I will term it as my inventory or my goods. As you can see in front of you, there is one example. Cloth will be goods for cloth merchant. Furniture will be goods for furniture dealer. Say for example, I bought a furniture for my home. So for me, it is not goods. It is my property for my home. But for the furniture dealer from whom I have purchased the furniture, why did he purchase? Why did he make the furniture? For the very purpose of selling it to the customer. So for furniture dealer, it is nothing but goods. Similarly, let us say the clothes that I am wearing, I go to a shop and purchase it. Alright, the shopkeeper has also purchased it from someone. But what is the difference between that particular shopkeeper and me? I have purchased it for using it in my daily life, and the shopkeeper has purchased for the very purpose of selling it to the customer. So cloth will become goods for the cloth merchant, and furniture will become goods for furniture dealer. Now let us take a complex example, mixed example. Let us say furniture dealer goes to a car dealer and furniture dealer buys a car. So now here in this entire process, what will happen is, for furniture dealer, the car will become his property. Alright, and for the car dealer, it is goods. So for car dealer, it is simply like selling of some commodity to the necessary customer. And we go for the second important term. Since we are studying about business organizations, you all know any business requires money, and as an owner of a particular business, I need to invest certain amount and things into my business, certain resources I have to provide as an owner to my business. That any amount of money or goods or things, or rather any resources which I have invested as an owner into the business is known as capital. Do you get me? Is known as capital. So any amount invested by the owner into his business is known as capital. I have given a very small example. Mr. A started business with 1 lakh. This 1 lakh rupees is nothing but capital of Mr. A, which he has contributed to start the business. Third important term, as you can see, is asset. Now see, let us say as an owner of the business, I invest some amount of money into the business. What do I do with it? Definitely with that particular money, I may go and buy a premises, alright, or I may go and buy furniture. Now why did I buy premises? Why did I buy furniture? And I may buy some machinery. Why did I buy this? In order to run my business smoothly, I need a place, so I bought premises. I need to organize that place, so I bought furniture. My work should go on smoothly, so I bought machinery. So now these all things, that is the premises, then what did I buy? Furniture, then machinery. All three things will now become the property of the business organization. It will be called as the assets of the business organization. So whatever we purchase for the purpose of conducting the business smoothly will automatically become asset for whom? For the business organization. As you can see in front of you, I have given few examples: machinery, furniture, vehicle, cash, etc. used for the purpose of running the business, alright, are nothing but assets for business. And similarly, another important term will be liabilities. Now what do you mean by liabilities? It is any amount of money which is payable by the business to the outsider. For example, I purchased a place, I purchased furniture, I purchased machinery. These three things I purchased, I started my business. Alright, now I need to buy some material. So what I will do is, I will find a supplier who is able to supply me the necessary material. That particular supplier supplies me the necessary material and I start my processing or manufacturing or whatever. Now, the supplier from whom I have purchased the material told me to pay the money after 1 month. So, this particular money is now owed by the business organization to the supplier, which means the business organization has to pay that particular amount of money to the supplier who has supplied that particular material at a future date. That particular amount which we have not yet paid but we are supposed to pay in future will become a liability for the business. I will give you another simple example through which you will be able to better understand the word liability. Let us say we run a business organization and we consume electricity. Right? We run a business organization and we consume or use the electricity. Now, there will be a bill generated from the electricity company and which will be received by the business organization. There will be a particular due date by which the business organization is supposed to make the payment to the electricity company. Till the date, the amount is not paid by the business organization to the electricity company. It will become a liability for the business organization. So, dear students, any amount which the business organization is supposed to pay to the outsiders will become liability till the time it is paid.